I was one of those project managers that believed that I needed another qualification to become better, because I could see that some projects were not going the way I wanted, or were not flowing, or it was just a lot of work and not efficient, not effective, and not fun, especially that, not fun. So I joined your program particularly because I didn't like the jobs that I had, because of the stressful, because the lack of satisfaction that I had. And it was, I found that like 4 years ago, actually, I found your videos, and I would always go back to your videos to learn something new that was practical. I know you use the word practical, but it's actually the most practical project management body of knowledge that I could find online. Everything that was printed to was very theoretical, but as soon as the video was finished, I had no idea how to implement that knowledge. So I joined your course, that was October last year. And from there, the acceleration was overnight, I would say. And it actually started with looking for a different position, because I was not very satisfied with the current role that I had as a project manager in this organization. I studied your interview videos about the interview. That was before I joined the course. No, actually, it was after I joined the course, because that was something that you directed me to. So watch these videos, and I remember studying this video, going through this interview, nailing it. I loved it. I had fun, and the response was that they hired me. Like, it was acceleration. That's what I really found. Now I'm the sort of person that studies a lot and prepares and do these courses, but like I said, a lot of the content that is online or there is in the traditional courses, it's really impossible to translate into practical ways that are where you see the results immediately. It's just knowledge that makes sense, but it's not applicable very well in the different situations. So once I was in your course and I started looking at the modules, I found that I would apply the next day. Everything was easy to apply because of your explanation, because of your examples, and because of the coaching, like in person with you, where I could really ask you the questions that I wanted for that specific stakeholder, that specific scenario. So I would apply things the next day and I would see results. It was just a bit of magical. I don't know how to describe it, but it was
works,
very
yeah.
It worked. And in this new role that I got, in less than a month, I was promoted to the position above me, the position where they were trying to recruit someone to manage me, and they appointed me to actually that position that would then manage the project managers team in less than a month that I was at this organization. That is the acceleration I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's the kind of success story that I like. All right, let's talk specifically more about your actions and maybe how we came up to these actions, whether it was through course, mentoring, maybe some specific actions like this one. So what do you think brought you from a newly hired project manager to promoted role to portfolio director in such a short time? Because you probably did a lot of hard theoretical stuff that only certified PMP and program managers can do. Tell us about it.
Yeah. It's with this organization, one of the most important aspects is people. And I used the stakeholders modules to implement that, not for the stakeholders of my projects, but the stakeholders of the organization. So I created the template that you provide, And every time I met a new person in the organization, I would just go into my own stakeholders template where I would just write a note where I met this person, what was the name, what they did. That simple action allowed me to call people by their names the next day. So within 2 weeks, I knew more people and more names, and I remember their names more than people that had been there for a couple of months. So I use those same principles, the same tool for stakeholders for a project. And as that person, I met him, I like simple things like she was very friendly, blah, blah, blah. My little notes, my little comments, and they allow me to just remember these people straight away. I remember what they did, the name, because I wrote it down. I took the time to integrate that newly person that I met. So there was a tool that I accelerated how management perceive me. This is a person that actually can deal with stakeholders, can talk to anyone at any level. And that is why it was easy for them to promote me up, because they said, we've been trying to recruit that person above, which was that role. They had the IT skills, but they don't have the people skills that you do. And I do believe that a part of that demonstrating my people skills was in my ability to connect with anyone, remember anyone, ask the right person the right question, because I took a note of who they were. So that definitely is a tool that accelerated. And I've never done it
stakeholder
before.
management, stakeholder register. Okay, can you talk a
Yes,
bit more? Is this like a sophisticated tool? Do you use any specific software to do that?
it's
How does it look?
Excel. It's just Excel.
Okay,
So I
what
just
columns do you have there?
columns,
Yeah.
name, my notes, department. That's it. That's it. That's all I need. And who they report to, because that allow me to really go on the org chart and speak, because I knew in which team they belong to. So, oh, that person. Oh, you know that person. I asked that person. Yeah, I know that person. So I just, it was all easily connected.
So I totally pumped and excited by these the short feedback loop. Like we talked
Yeah,
about some improvement, and you go and did it right away, and it worked. So there is also reinforcement of behavior. Like this is a
absolutely.
basic habit development. If you see that action leads to results, you will repeat the same action. And what I'm trying to explain everyone here, that project tailoring is the key, because it's about small improvements over time on the most impactful things. You should identify and pinpoint the bottlenecks and work on them. And for that, you don't need to learn the course end to end. You can jump into, for example, stakeholder management or risk management section. Learn what you need, go and implement. So action will always beat theoretical learning here.
Just adding to that, Dimitri, your video also talk about this won't work because. So you really provide the mistakes that people normally make, because you've seen everything, you've seen it all. And so
Yeah.
it won't work if you do this, it won't work if you do that. Like you just shortcut all the mistakes that other courses don't talk about, other videos don't talk about. Say, oh yeah, you engage with stakeholders, you talk like this, blah, blah, blah. But your videos add, don't do this because, don't do that because, if you do this, this is the result you're gonna get, so don't do it. So there's all that acceleration, again, that's the word, acceleration into becoming really good without having to have made all those mistakes. There's a lot of your YouTube videos online. And again, I found that like every time I watch them, I just go, oh, I just want to know more. I want to know more. I just want to know how. And it is in this mentorship that the how is really clear through conversations with you, where sometimes you say to me, go and revisit these modules about, for example, leadership. Go and revisit those and you'll find support for what we just talked about. Now, like I said, I study, I have experience. So it's not that I was a brand new manager, but it was that I hope it works. That got removed. And that way, the peace, the confidence, the calm, the leadership, the settled comes in. I didn't find anything like this anywhere. After the promotion, I said, Dimitri, you changed my life again, but it was a completely different level. And yeah, I did take the action. So that is, it doesn't come just because you listen to Dimitro and his courses. But as I said, every time you take one of those actions, even one, you just get so much return on investment from one action that you just want to do another one and see. It's really exciting. It is an exciting journey. That what has been for me. It's been exciting. Every time we had a coaching call, like it was at 9 p.m., I could not sleep that night because I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to try this. And then the next morning I did it and it worked. And it's like, this is amazing. That's the most, the way I can describe this course. That was my experience, and I think it's repeatable for anyone else. But yeah, you need to take the action. You need to trust that Dimitro's experience actually is practical, as he says in all his material. It is practical, and when it's practical, you get the results.